Great. So, hey guys, this is Dean Kalora with Title Tap. Today, I'm excited. We've got Mr. Jack Spring with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about online marketing and some of the successes that Jack's had. But let me just kick some things off. Jack is a JD. He's a title agent. He's a rock star, marketer. He's done kind of all sorts of stuff, and we're excited to have him on the session. Jack is also one of our customers and has leveraged the tools to really drive some new business. Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Good, Dean. How are you doing?
Good. Good. Hey, I'm trying to keep up with you, man. So Jack, before we kind of get into some things with the marketing side, if you would tell our audience a little bit more about you and maybe some of your background, how you got into marketing, that kind of thing.
Well, I've been in the title business, Dean, for over 25 years. Starting out really as a real estate attorney in Northern Virginia, outside Washington, D.C., doing commercial and residential real estate closings and development work, and eventually had my own title company there in Virginia.
Right.
Moved to Florida about 12 years ago, and I've managed a number of offices. And it's funny, but a lot of the companies I worked with were either large corporations, major builders, which had a nice website presence, or very small title companies that had virtually no web presence at all. And currently I'm working as marketing director for a prominent Naples title company, and I've had a lot of luck, a lot of success with your product.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Well, we definitely want to make, I think, the focus of the session on online marketing and really some of your successes. I think maybe to sort of tee some things off, when you got started, right, when you started to dip your toe into the online world from a digital marketing perspective, specifically with the websites, because I know, a lot of agents we talk to, they struggle there. They started something maybe back in the 90s. And just not knowing where to go, how to start, dealing with folks I know that know nothing about the business has been a lot of struggle for many. Tell us a little bit about maybe your experience in trying to get kind of cutting edge stuff with your website going, how it was kind of before you met us, and
Sure.
then after you met us, and how that's impacted and how you do things.
Well, as I said, as far back as the 90s, when the .com bubble was upon us and the internet was all the rage, and we thought we were going to automate everything. There was even discussions about realtors no longer being the gatekeepers, and title companies got excited about that because they thought, oh, well, this means we're going to be the gatekeeper, and they can just go straight to us.
Right.
That really hasn't materialized in the last 20 years. And so we've had to take a different approach. Relationships with strategic partners such as realtors and mortgage brokers remains very important, and they still remain the gatekeepers. So the web site ideas, I think, in the 90s never materialized. People are not just going straight to a website and ordering a title. They still are using gatekeepers like realtors and mortgage brokers. But what I've begun to find out is that the website still can play an enormously important role, both as a way to identify your brand and make a statement about who you are and what's important to you, and as a content-rich place for your customers and your strategic partners to go back to.
Yeah.
And so that is what the website's still important. It's evolved in terms of the expectations, but it's also become a very, very important tool for online marketing.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point that you make. I mean, all too often, and in traditional marketing is definitely still, you can't sort of live without it. There are some things that are done there, and we've talked to some agents that, they still question, is this whole web thing for real? Is it, is it something I should pay attention to? And I mean, what would you say about that, man? I mean, would you say that it's made a difference? Does it have an impact?
It's a really fair question, and I think if there's any industry that's sort of stuck on yesterday, it would be the title industry in some way. Because they're just slow sometimes to adopt new technologies.
Yeah.
And I would be lying if I said that the website ever could replace conventional marketing.
Yeah.
The reality is it's all about relationships still. It's all about FaceTime.
Absolutely.
But the question is, after you've met that realtor, that potential strategic partner, what's the first thing they're going to do? Look up your website.
Right.
If you've got a 1990s style website that's sitting there and it's static and it does nothing for you, you've kind of made a statement about who you are. Whereas if they check out your website and it's full of rich content and there's videos and there's testimonials and there's a map and directions and there's documents that they can go to, you know, whether it's your wire instructions or just frequently asked questions about title, even a title calculator. Now you've really made a statement about your competence and your seriousness in the business, and that's what you want your website to convey. And you know, working with you and Elliot and the other guys at TitleTap, that's what I've been able to create, and it's fantastic.
Great, yeah, man. No, it's been a pleasure. You know, I know one thing that really I think stood out, right, with the way you leverage the platform, which is just phenomenal. And it's something I really want you to share with
right.
watching. You just grabbed a hold of those custom branded videos, you know, and you really leveraged that with
Yeah.
blog, and that was just brilliant. So if you could kind of maybe speak to how you came to that realization, how difficult it was to do, but I think the all important is like, what were the results? Like what
Sure.
did you start seeing happen? You know, I mean, what did it mean to your business? And I think that's very important for me, the folks seeing to hear. You know?
Well, let me back up by saying, you know, I like attending seminars, and oftentimes there are many vendors who come and talk to title agents about, you know, how to improve their business. And the more I got to know your company, what I found distinguished you from your competitors was you were offering so much more with your website. In particular, this idea of the branded videos. Now, these are short 1 to 3 minute videos that hit all of the top topics you can imagine, whether it's in mortgage, title, real estate, how to prepare your home. These are things not only that your realtors will find useful, but also, you know, the customers. So I love the fact that you had over 100 videos. And when my website was designed, you handed those off to me. They were branded, and your suggestion to me was brilliant. And it was send out a video once a day as a blog. And you can actually change the little headings and description of what's in the video content. And by doing that, you know, really tailor it to your company and to what might be important to your clients. And so when we did that, we did it, you had suggested do it for 2 weeks. I did it for actually 30 days.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
And I took the company's search engine ranking from literally nowhere, because we weren't even in the top 20, to a top 3, which is where you want to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to me, this is the great unknown secret, certainly in the title industry. And that is that blogging, maybe especially video blogging, is a terrific way to enhance your search engine ranking, because you're going to be able to use those keywords that Google picks up, and it's contemporary, it's consistent and pertinent to your business. And that's, Google has all kinds of algorithms I can't begin to understand, but they love videos.
They love video. That is true.
The blog worked, and it was so simple. You literally, through the WordPress backdoor option that you guys provide, I would just go in, pick the video I wanted to put up that day. I would listen to the video, then I would include my own little description, and then at the bottom I would always include some kind of a tagline with my company's name. Post it out immediately, and that's all I would do. It would take 5 to 10 minutes a day.
5 to 10 minutes a day. Wow. Okay. Because I think a lot of the misnomer is it's going to be such a a time suck, and I'm gonna I'm not just gonna have time to do it. That's get busy, and so. But you didn't have that experience.
No, and this isn't us recording our own videos. That would be another thing you could do.
Yeah.
But these are pre-made videos that are branded to your company, which include a nice call to action at the end of the video.
Yeah.
We found it really effective, and it worked.
That's great. So you saw search engine optimization benefit.
Right.
Did you see any of that actually translate to business?
Well, you know, one of the things that people always ask, especially if you're not like somebody who likes tech, and many people in the title industry are not so sure if technology is even necessary. What I would say is this: you want to measure ROI in a number of ways. You know, are you getting new contracts in the door that you can track to the website? That's one way. And the answer for us on that was yes. There were certainly individuals not represented by realtors who loved our content on our website and told us that they called us because they had surveyed several different companies and they really liked our website and the information. So that's one way of measuring ROI. But for me, return on investment is also what we could do with the website was we created a resource page that was so rich in content with links to various courthouses and recording information and calculators that not only would the realtors use it and the clients and the mortgage brokers, but our own staff.
That's awesome.
They kept it on their desktop, and whenever they needed to go check the property appraiser's website, they had it all right. And you guys were great the way you worked with us on putting that together. So.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It's the question of, again, people's perception, the public, right, when they're doing their homework. I mean, I think today it's fair to say we all, Google, anything that we're about to purchase. I mean, that we're seeing more and more of that research done, and the first perception they get of you, a lot of reasons is online. That's their first perception, and this is the largest transaction most people are going to have in their lifetime.
That's right.
So that's so fascinating, not surprising, but fascinating in the sense that it matters, right? I mean, it definitely matters when you have the public, giving you that kind of feedback.
I think in the 1990s, when some title companies would post websites, they were little more than a business card online.
Yeah,
it was static. Ours is very dynamic and really becomes a useful portal, and that's, I think, the most that I think that you can hope that your website will achieve for you. The SEO improvements, resource for your customers and your staff, actually turning it into contracts. I think the other piece of this, though, and this you can't really measure return on investment, but how about enhanced reputation? When an agent goes out and sees your website and just says, wow, I know more about your staff now. I know how to find you.
Yeah.
I like your blog. The other thing that you provide beyond the video blogs is I can blog about any topic I want.
Right.
So if you find a nice article and you can post it with attribution or maybe refer to it, change it up, blog, just do a regular blog as well. And the nice thing is if you're talking about, let's say FERPTA or some special niche kind of topic that realtors need information on, like a Canadian land trust, which is big here. If you've blogged on that, you can tell your realtor, please go out to my website and check it out. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I think is so powerful is just and it doesn't, from a cost perspective, it's really cost effective, I think, pound for pound than doing it the old mailer way.
Yeah.
And, again, you can track the performance, you can pivot easily. And you've done a great job at really combining the best features and capabilities. And I'm really, I'm anxious to see what you're going to be doing next. It's fun to watch.
It's been a good collaboration. And there's another little feature about your website I really like, and that's the idea that you've got a banner that goes across that provides a free PDF.
Yeah, the pop-up. Yep.
Yeah, any realtor who signs up and all they give you is their name and email, and what you're doing is you're automatically building your database.
That's right. Yeah, the call to action. Yeah,
and that's a very cool thing as well, because then that gives you the chance to follow up with that realtor and ask them, what did you think of the PDF, and would you like to get together? And that's really the recipe for.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, I know, this was going to be kind of a short snippet. You provided some great information. I guess, to kind of round us out a little bit, Jack, if you had to do it all over again, and your experience of how things, I mean, would you do it? And, I think maybe if you could sort of cap that statement with, I want to give the audience some takeaways, and some things you can share with your colleagues on if they're on the fence with online marketing. What are a few, maybe tips that you could help them to just get off the ledge, get started, get out there, start doing something. So maybe if you could just, again, if you had to do it all over again, would you, and then how the overall experience, knowing what you know now, without question, what would you do?
Well, the short answer is absolutely. I would do it all over again. And I would love to tell you that I've referred your company to my competitors, but I haven't because I want to. I'm afraid they might catch on. But if you're in a market outside of mine and you're not sure whether or not you want to even have a good website, I would say this is well worth the investment. If you bring in one transaction, you've paid really more than paid for this technology. But the takeaway for me is this. We are still a B2B, business to business, which means we're not selling widgets directly to the consumer. And this is why title agents often say, well, why do I need a website? Nobody's going to give me their credit card and buy title insurance. So the real answer is no, it's B2C. That means you have to position yourself with your strategic partners in some special way. And every title company will say that they are, giving the best service, the best price, the best location, the most experience. Well, everybody says that.
Right.
And how can that be true? Not everybody can be the best. So what I try to do in my entire focus from a marketing perspective is to position myself as a partner in my realtor's business model. I'm a partner in their success, which means I'm a resource, information, and that I do things that help build their business. For example, that PDF that they can sign up for, they get to read about 10 different apps they didn't know about that'll help them do their business better.
Right. Yeah.
How many title companies are actually helping realtors save time, do a better job with what they're doing, and close more business? That's really,
right. Yeah.
To me, that's what a title company wants to do, is position themselves as sort of a consultant almost to support the realtor's business model. And so your website helps me position myself with realtors in that regard. And
awesome.
Too, so.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. It's, and there has been, quite a big shift. And, the all important, how do you help me make more money? That grabs anybody's attention, so, so it's a great point. And then if you could, just to kind of cap us off, a couple of, I know you mentioned, you do it all over again.
Yeah.
What are a couple of good tips for folks that are kind of on that fence of, what should I do with online marketing? Where maybe should I start? What are some things to think about that you can leave with the audience, if you would?
Well, I don't want to minimize the importance of email marketing, provided that it's permission-based. You do want to stay front of mind, top of mind always with your existing clients. So in that regard, the website, the TitleTap website, is very helpful because it helps you build that website, build that database with more emails from realtors and mortgage brokers. So I would say build your database, use the TitleTap website to help bring in more clients, and then stay in touch with them. But why not send out a link to your website as part of your email, your regular email to your client base? And the link could be straight to today's video blog. And
good idea.
Just be whatever the topic is. And then the realtor may not even read it, but they might say, gee, my client was just asking me about TRID, and you just sent me a video on TRID. I can flip that to my client, and you've helped me do my business better. So anyway,
awesome.
that would be a suggestion. Is I think there are a lot of things. I even have ideas of trying to build upon the ideas that you have. And create new capabilities on our website with your help, and I think we're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I mean that's we can kind of put the cap there. But a great point. I mean, you've got the facilities to really make a mark and to do it in a time efficient way. And, for those of you, again, in the audience, I mean, it takes just some action. And what's important to note with everything I think you said today, Jack, was it doesn't have to be time consuming to be effective. And, the results are real. You're seeing an impact in the business. And I think you're going to, as you see in your marketplace, more and more folks are they're just doing a lot of the homework online, and they're making their decisions on the front end, not the tail end. So, it's definitely become more key. Well, hey, Jack, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're getting short on time, and I want to be conscious of your schedule, but it was a pleasure. Glad you joined us today. It was great having you.
Thank you, Dean. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to what the future holds.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome, man. Well, to everybody else, thanks for joining us on the session. And until next time, thank you, guys.
Take care. Bye now.